was a little better at the end of practice. So we're going to see how it shapes up throughout the rest of the night.
Well, let's go down for a progressive pre-race report with Aaron Bates.
Well, guys, a disappointing weekend last weekend for the number 22 of Chad Reed. He got penalized in position, moved from 6th back to 7th place after failing to finish the race in Daytona. What a mutter it was. But today, unfortunately, not that much better for the number 22. He is feeling under the weather. It is his birthday today. He's celebrating the big 2-6. He said he's going to muster up as much energy as he can to come out here. But he did miss second practice this afternoon and decided to stay in the rig, try to sleep it off. He's going to give it everything he's got out here. But we're wishing a happy birthday to Chad Reed.
Well, let's take a look quickly at our Supercross 411. 2 heats tonight. Top 9 going to the main event. One last chance qualifier will give us our final 2 riders. 20 riders for 20 laps. This is round 11 of 17.
Let me tell you, where Aaron was there at the back of that starting line, it is extremely loud there.
Starting lineup across the screen as we drop the gate and go racing. It looks like one of the Joe Gibbs Racing Team riders. It is Josh Hansen taking the early lead. Reed is in second, but coming right with him is Davey Millsaps. Millsaps on the 118. Reed trying to get inside, and Hansen holds him off.
Almost all the riders stacked up there. Reed really came in hot. Millsaps had to check up also. It's the first time we've seen Hansen out front all year, but watch Chad Reed through the woods.
He's usually very strong here, Jeff. He gets inside of Hansen, and Hansen cuts back.
Looked like Hansen had the drive. Here's the on-off. How's it going to play out?
He takes a much wider line, and Reed will lead him across the finish line jump. Oh, Hansen cuts him off. That opens the door for Millsaps to come inside.
Very aggressive riding, and Reed takes the lead.
3 riders going out and making 4. That's Josh Hill getting into the fray.
And Josh Hansen goes from first back to 4th in an instant.
Josh Hill in the number 40 Yamaha getting into the mix. Millsaps is up to second. Hansen now to 3rd. Here comes Hill back inside. Hill's on the 40. Hansen's on the 100. And that's Preston on the 11. Coming right with him on the green Kawasaki. He's back in 5th.
Preston really starting to get the groove now, find the speed of these leaders. It's taken him a while. Remember, he came in on the Team Kawasaki after Stewart was injured. He didn't start the series with these riders, so he's had much less laps and racing experience this year than what the rest of the guys have.
Let's take a look at how aggressive that pass to the lead was.
And watch this. This is Hansen after taking the lead. He's the 100. Makes a big mistake in the woods. Reed goes by on the right. Millsaps goes by on the left. And Josh Hill just backdoors it and sneaks past him also.
Boy, how aggressive was Chad Reed to that wood section. Unbelievable. Reed not feeling well, getting older today, having a birthday, and trying to make up for that heartbreaking loss in Daytona.
And what confidence a rider has to have like Chad Reed, who almost lands off the side of the track there, to skip to second practice, be confident in his skills and his memory of the track. When he misses one, goes back to the rig, takes a nap. This is a guy that knows exactly what he has to do to get ready for the night's event.
We've always said, Jeff, he's one of the grittiest riders in the sport. And we've seen him with broken pieces and his body just beaten and battered, and he always finds a way to come back and fight through the adversity physically to challenge for a championship. We're halfway through heat number 1. Josh Hill challenging Davey Millsaps for second. Chad Reed leading here in the first heat of the Supercross Series in the Metrodome in Minneapolis. We'll be right back for more after this. Past the halfway point here in heat number 1, and Chad Reed, the Australian, the points leader, continuing to lead here in Minneapolis. He's opened up a gap of 2 seconds between him and Davey Millsaps. Josh Hansen had the early lead in this one. Things have gone wrong for the 100.
Yeah, Hansen was out front. He was dominating early and then got dominated. Watch right here. Jumps off the side of the track, lands on these cut blocks way over here. It's got to be very disappointing after grabbing the whole shot and a good qualifying position here in this heat.
Spent a lot of time talking with Josh, and he really is so desperately trying to put a good run together for the Joe Gibbs Racing team. It's just not happening yet. Here's a fight for second, and a lot of good runs for both of these riders. Davey Millsaps on the 118, winner in Atlanta, and Josh Hill on the 40. Everybody wondering when he's going to get a win because he's been awfully close.
He definitely is due. We spoke with him a little earlier. He just had a good demeanor today. He seemed extremely happy, loves the track. But I think after a week like last week in Daytona, these riders get into a nice dry dome stadium where there's a controlled environment. I think they all have smiles on their faces right now.
Or the flu, one or the other.
Yeah, exactly. And if you notice on the top of Josh Hill's helmet, actually there's a new title sponsor for Yamaha that is sort of camera company. And they have a camera mounted on the top of his helmet. Each time he rides, turns the camera on and they download it when he gets back.
Now that's not a Speed TV camera, so unfortunately we can't show you what Josh is seeing. Chad Reed, however, out front.
And these riders are really real Chad Reed in here. I know it's the last lap of a qualifying race. Reed could be saving a little bit, but all of these riders in the 47-second lap time range. Reed's best 47.3, then goes 47.4, and Hill at 47.5.
And he better not slow too much because Millsaps is right on him. To the checkers, and Chad Reed wins over Millsaps and Josh Hill. So Chad Reed finds the strength and the energy to pull off a heat race win.
Main event's going to be a much different story. 20 laps instead of 8.
And you saw how Millsaps and Hill were closing in. Good news for Chad Reed. He can rest and take a break from the last chance qualifier. It's been a busy night here in Minneapolis. Lots to see and do outside the dome and great opening ceremonies inside as the riders were introduced to this crowd here in Minnesota. Well, this crowd just witnessed Chad Reed taking the win in the heat race #1 for the Supercross class here at the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome in Minneapolis. Top 9 riders go to the main. There they are. Jerry Dostal will lead the rest of this group to the last chance qualifier for a shot at one of those final 2 tickets to the main event. Tommy Hahn debuting in the Supercross class. Gets the top 5 in the heat. He's going straight to the main. Well, here's Chad Reed. A little worse for wear, I think, though, huh, Aaron?
Gosh, I tell you what, he's definitely under the weather, and surprised he was even able to pull that off. But Chad, for as sick as you're feeling at the moment, how did you muster up the energy to take that win on the heat race?
I have to, and a little handy made it tough on me at the beginning there, but we just tried to be smart and break a little lead, and I know I got these guys covered. I just need to get out and get clear and try to bring my breathing down, and it's gonna be tough tonight, and it's my birthday, so a little motivational.
Good luck to you in the main event.
Thanks.
Entered to win the Dude for a Day Supercross style contest, where one lucky dude will win a trip to Vegas for the Supercross finals. Hang with the Kawasaki dudes and then take home your very own Kawasaki KX 450F motorcycle. Log on to speedtv.com, keyword dude now. It's going to be interesting to see if Chad Reed can muster up the energy to hang on through the main event and maybe pick up the win here tonight in the Metrodome. He too is in the gate. And our Honda starting lineup scrolls across the top of the screen. There's Ryan Dungey on the number 28, debuting Target, a Minneapolis actually based company. A big announcement for Ryan that he has landed them as a personal sponsor.
Yeah, and I tell you, the hometown races have been good to the riders this year. I'm sure Ryan Dungey would love to have his first Supercross main event win come here inside the dome, and a lot of family and friends here checking him out.
And the first time they've been involved with the sport, so it's a big statement as to where this sport is headed. Jacob Marczak coming off a podium. Kevin Windham getting the whole shot on the 14. The Daytona Supercross winner, and a bunch of them stacking up, including Nathan Ramsey and the 55 Antonio Balbi, who won his first heat race a week ago. And Daytona's in there. Paul Carpenter on the 42 is in there.
Gosler's in there.
Yeah, Gosler's on the 102.
Ryan Clark.
And
yeah.
Ryan Clark on the 39. Meanwhile, the 14 of Kevin Windham leading here in Heat 2.
So in so many starts here in these heat races tonight, we've seen that first kind of second turn really causes some problems. A rider that's dialed in off to start in the main event is going to have a much better chance of winning.
Boy, what a year it's been for Kevin Windham. Takes the opening win for him this year in Reliance Stadium in Houston, basically his home race, a track he designed. Then you go to the biggest race of the year in Daytona, and he wins that one as well in an epic Supercross race.
Well, and then the interesting thing about Windham as we take a look at Dungey here is that Windham really has had a good year. You know, mentally, he's having a lot of fun racing his motorcycle, and he's been racing since he's a little boy. Some races haven't been so good. I mean, some years haven't been, but this year's one of them. And look at Dungey making the move here.
Dungey getting inside Johnson on the 256. Well, let's get back and take a look at the crash at the start of this one, Jeff, on heat number 2.
Like I was saying, the first turn's kind of back here. This is a second turn. Only the riders that actually double this come away clean. It's when the riders have to take this kind of, it's like a step-up double. That's when it causes problems. Watch Andrew Short here, jumps to the inside. That's Bright, I believe, that went down.
Bright on the 709, Tyler Bright, yep.
And Short just got gobbled up in that. He had nowhere to go.
No problems for Windham. Those names in green across the top of your screen hold the transfer spots. Top 9 going to the main. Fight for 5th is a pretty good one. David Villerman's in here on the number 12 Suzuki, and he's going to move up into the position. Looks like he's battling with Eric Sorby in here on the 917.
That was Johnson. The Billman just went past, or Sorby, I'm sorry. Johnson also, that was Sorby that got past.
And David Billman had his first top 5 finish of the season with a 4th just a week ago at Daytona. So he's building up a little bit of momentum. We'll be right back for more of Heat 2 after these words. Working his way past the halfway point here in heat number 2 for the Supercross class. Monster Energy Supercross returning to Minneapolis first time in 4 years. And Kevin Windham, who has won here at both Supercross and Supercross Lights, leads here in heat number 2. This battle is between Andrew Short on the 29. He's got 7th place right now.
He's actually moved up to 6th. He just got past Johnson. Johnson's coming under fire with his teammate, Jason Thomas. See both them riders and bikes look alike. Thomas makes the move.
There's Andrew. He's been awful close to pulling off a win as well as Short crosses the line. Time to get scored and shows him in 6th place right behind Eric Sorby.
Short is reeling in Sorby at a rapid pace right now.
Eric on that 917. Oh, and he just pulls over. He just let him right by.
I don't know what to say. I don't know. I guess Sorby's happy with where he's at in his qualifying position.
Yeah, kind of weird.
Doesn't want to get too good of a gate pick. You know, the expectations are.
Yeah. Charles Summey on the 24. Ryan Dungey on the 28. Fighting over 2nd place, which right now Charles Summey holds down on his Yamaha on the blue bike.
And I watched Summey quite a bit in qualifying practice. And I thought earlier today, I thought to myself that, you know, this is the best that I've seen him ride Supercross all year. And that tells me that this team has really got their bike dialed in, and Summey's really feeling good about his riding.
Boy, Dungey almost had the move set up, didn't he, to the inside there. Just couldn't get the drive he needed.
And I think an experienced rider, more experienced rider, would have known that he wasn't close enough. that if you're going to make that move, you're going to have to be another bike length or two closer to actually pull that off. So Dungey's dropped back a couple bike lengths because of it.
He becomes a more and more experienced rider with every lap, doesn't he? Ryan Dungey's learning curve has been incredible this year.
Yeah, and I think that it's a great move for Dungey, who led the West Coast Light Series in the beginning part of this series and just had a disastrous middle section to that championship. I think it's great that he's out racing on the bigger bike here, gaining experience with the best riders in Supercross, and with one race left on the West, still is hopeful to win that championship. He's going to need a little help.
We are on the final lap of heat number 2, and here comes Dungey. And the hometown crowd reacts. Their rider has moved to second, while Kevin Windham makes his way to the checkered flag to win heat number 2. And Dungey, making his way around the final couple of corners, is going to lead Charles Sunny to line to take second.
And if the fans go crazy for Dungey getting second in a heat race like that, imagine if he wins this main event.
Here's the next group of 9 riders going straight to the main event. Kevin Windham is going to lead the bunch over there. Ryan Dungey showing he's getting faster and faster on the 450s as he finishes second here in heat number 2. And we go meet Kevin Windham with our Aaron Bates.
Well, Kevin Windham, he was the last guy to take a win here in 2004. And Kevin, with a heat race like that, is it possible that we may yet see another victory out of you yet?
Well, I hope so. I tell you, the Torco Racing Fuels Honda's running great. I'd like to thank Amsoil, Plant Fitness, DBS, all the guys. Dunlop. I'd like to be the next guy to win here. That's what I want to focus on tonight, and feel really good here in 08 to win it again.
All right, Aaron, thanks. Let's take a look at the highlights from the last chance qualifier. Josh Hansen on the 100 is up to second. Antonio Balmy sits in third. Oh, down goes Hansen, and right into Balmy.
He takes Balmy with him. Balmy's ninth.
Felstel's on that green Kawasaki with the blue riding gear.
And that's when Fry said the heat is on.
Oh, very nice. And look at this move. Oh, and over the bars. Oh, and then right into the path of another rider. 2 riders going down in the middle of that path. There's Bright and Gosler.
That was Paul Carpenter that got into the back of Pavoni.
Oh, and off goes Gosler! With a huge wreck goes Chris Gosler, looking like he had a transfer spot. Dusty Klatt's going to get the win. Tyler Bright's going to get second. And what an aggressive final lap here in the last chance qualifier. So Dusty Klatt and Tyler Bright will be the 2 riders that transfer from the LCQ to round out our 20-rider main event. That's what we're going to have for you when we come back to the home of Mary Tyler Moore, Minneapolis, Minnesota, right after this. With weekly green alerts from Speed, text KX to 773333 on your mobile phone to receive free motorcycle racing text alerts. Speed Green Alerts presented by Kawasaki. Chilly night outside the Metrodome, but the racing's been pretty good inside here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Ralph Shaheen and Jeff Emmick joining you once again, and doing the good racing for Yamaha and Honda tonight has been Davey Millsaps and Kevin Windham for the red team, and for the blue team, it's been Chad Reed and Josh Hill. So, Jeff, how do you size those guys up as we get ready for the main?
Well, they definitely are the big 4 tonight, and they're all right on a 47.3 lap time. So, speed-wise, they're all linked together. I think the key thing is going to be the start and the track position in the beginning part of the race. Whoever gets out there gets a little bit of distance and doesn't have to deal with the other riders, he's going to be able just to shoot off and ride his own race. But remember, Chad Reed also, he's not feeling well tonight, so can he go the full 20 laps? I guess we'll wait and see.
Getting ready for the main event here in Minneapolis. The riders are in the gate. Here's our up close. It'll be 20 riders for 20 laps. Chad Reed, Kevin Windham, and Dusty Klatt have all seen checkered flags. Look at the names who didn't.